Well, shall we put this door back up? Let's do it. Remember, top hinge first. I gotta make some noise sometimes. Hang on to it. Put the pin up in there. Angle that. All you want is the top pin. As long as the top pin goes in just a hair, you're okay. You don't have to tap that down any further. Don't do it. Then I can tap the bottom one up, remember? That's the hair. And all I want to do is concentrate on the second hinge pin. I don't care about the bottom one just yet. You know? Got that down in its hole. Bottom one looks lined up. Okay. Moment of truth. Okay, I'll keep the camera on. I don't want you to think there's any monkey business going on. Let's see how well this door closes now. In worst case scenario, we got to do some more rasping, but I'm hoping not. Okay? Look at that. Looking pretty good there. I'm liking that. Now the funny thing is, the door's not latching, is it? You can look at that. I can see where the bottom is, right there, and I can open that and look. And that's because it's rubbing just below the pocket of the strike. If you will recall, remember we had the big gap at the top of the door. When they installed this door years ago, it was fine. See, that big gap up there. You're not supposed to have that big gap. It's supposed to be up higher, and it was up higher, and then this door went up. That raised up the pocket of where this latch was, right? That'll raise this up, but we can't do it. We're trying to work with the existing conditions the best we can. So guess what we gotta do? We're gonna have to look at this strike plate and make a decision. Do we, you know, if it's only off a little bit, which it is, we can ream the bottom of this out with a reamer bit, and I think I have one. If not, you can use a drill bit. It's kind of chattery, and hold it there and stuff. If it's way off, say a ½ an inch, and you're like, oh my word, what do I have to do? Worst case scenario, you have to take this out and remortise it in, lower it down, then you're going to have a patch there and all that. We don't want to do all that if we don't have to. So I don't want to adjust this right to left yet until I get the bottom fixed. So I'm going to have to find a reamer bit and show you how to do that. Man, look at all this stuff you're learning. Now, dabbity nabbit, I thought I got a reamer bit at the hardware store, but I didn't, so I'm gonna have to use just a drill bit. And I'm using my electric drill, my cord drill. It's not a cordless drill, it's the other one that hardly anybody has nowadays, because I can get a faster RPM than a battery operated one anyways. And so what I'm gonna end up doing is reaming out the bottom of that, okay, just above the screw, and I think that's going to be enough. Let's see what we can do with this. If I had a reamer one, it kind of looks like a drill bit, but it's got all kinds of teeth, like a rasp all the way around. You can get them in different ones, shaped like a cone, or straight, or round, and then that just eats that up. You know, I gotta get one of those. I'm gonna have to remind myself. Make sure you wear goggles. See, because there's wood back in there, I can kind of dig my tip into the wood at a slight angle and then kind of pull down and kind of work that, and then go a little more, a little more. That kind of keeps the blade from chattering around. and it gives you a little bit more control too. That's working. Take it in there. That's going good. And then, you know, before I get all done, I'll hit the edge so I don't have any burrs on there. See, it looks like I need to get this side down a little bit more. That's what you do when you don't have a rasp drill bit. Okay, moment of truth. That's our first go. Let's see what happens. I'll keep the camera on. I want you to see what I see. We want to make sure and see if this will latch now. Look at that. It's latching. Now, because this door is old, I don't think it's going to sag anymore. But if this was a fairly new door, 2 or 3 years old or something, you might want to make this pocket area, you might want to dig it down a little bit more, because a year from now, 6 months from now, you don't want to have to come and shave that again, do you? Allow a little bit of sloppage. But I've already got it pretty close to the screw head that's holding the strike plate. You see here, right there. So I could go down just a little bit more, but I don't want to hit that screw head if I can help it. And I see where this is a little bit round right there. I might dig that out just a little bit because it's just barely grabbing. And this is an adjustable strike. See the paddle thing in here? Well, it looks like if that was an angle, see it's barely closing tight right now. I could push that over. Well, it's already bent over, and in order to adjust that, you take this out, take a pair of pliers and hold that in your hand and kind of bend it. But I can't bend it that way any further because it's at a 90-degree angle at this point. Okay, so it could be holding up just by that little bit. So I'm gonna drill that out and see what happens. Okay, stick with me here. I'm having a hard time just pushing that in like that because it's not a rasp bit. That's why I have to dig the tip in all the way. Then I've got a little force that I can start pushing on. That helped. Okay, that looks better. Can't get any better than that, I don't think. Okay. just get you in there one more time and try this again. Like that. Try it a few times. Now see, this door has been at an angle for who knows how many years, and because it's an exterior door and sun gets on it, it could have warped the door ever so slightly. When I'm closing it, the top could be hitting, it is actually hitting before the bottom, you know, and it's just barely closing. Because see, if I push up here, see, I can't get it. It's not going because it's hitting the top of the door before the bottom of the door. And not because it's hitting the rubber gasket as much, okay, as the door's just warped a little bit. But, you know, as long as you can open it and close it right here, you're good. Check it a few times before you call it good. Now here's something else. Right now this is an exterior door. There's no weather stripping on here. So if they wanted to put weather stripping, they could. They could put weather stripping on the exterior side, or if they could put something right on this edge, whatever. Usually it fits on the outside though, and then you can adjust it and push it in. Most doors now, exterior doors, there's a little groove right here, and then there's a piece of foam, weather stripping full length, and it fits right into that groove, and then it pushes up against here. I like that. Okay, but because there's none there, I mean, I want to make sure that this door fits nice and snug. Later on, if they put weather stripping, they may have to adjust this. But if this was, if that was chattering, you know, when you close this door, but it's not. If it was chattering, boom, 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 then you would take the strike plate off. Okay, and most. Not all strike plates, but some strike plates have that paddle, that little tab on there. Then you unscrew that. I used to take my screwdriver and fit it underneath the edge and try to pry that out, fit it underneath the top edge, pry it out. Then it kind of leaves a belly right there, and it kind of pooches it out. So I take the extra effort, unscrew this. You got to be careful because sometimes these are painted in. You got to scribe it, be real careful so the paint or the wood doesn't chip up. And I'll pull that out, take that tab, pair of pliers, hold on to this in your hand, and then bend the tab out so it comes out at a slight angle. Then put it back in again, check your door. Then you might have to take it out and do it, you know, once or twice or whatever. That's my pet peeve. I like to have things nice and snug when I leave the job site. Okay, now I'm pretty much done with this door, almost. Now what could I do? You know, I'm gonna leave these pins where they were when I got here. I could tap these all the way down, but then after years, it's hard to get these back up. I'm gonna leave it that way because I don't know if they're ever gonna want to take this down and repaint the door or whatever. Okay, so I got these down about where they were before. Not like that. This one could go down just a hair. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it just how I found it. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more